Welcome to Big Journey, Small Steps. Today, it's a celebration. Hello, I'm Frank Hannaway, and welcome to Big Journey, Small Steps, the channel where I talk about my spiritual journey to self-realization and the small steps I'm taking to get to my goal, aided by my teacher, Ishwaran. On March the 3rd, 2010, something extraordinary happened in my life. That was the day, 5 years ago, that I began practicing passage meditation. And my life has changed so much in those 5 years on the inside and on the outside. I have to tell you, the inside part is a lot more important in some ways. 5 years ago, I was a teacher. I'm retired now. I lived in Tampa by myself. I live now with my mother who has Alzheimer's. Both my father and my brother passed away. It's been quite a 5 years. But let me tell you a little bit about where I was 5 years ago. I was in bad shape. I was depressed. I was just sort of emotionally and spiritually bankrupt, and I was not doing very well physically either. And it just so happened that on March the 2nd, 2010, I went to see my cardiologist, who's a dear friend, and he said, I went to a retreat on the weekend, and I found out about this new thing, passage meditation. I know you're looking for something. It sounds great. Why don't you try it? I went home, went on the internet, and read the instructions, and I thought, hey, I can do this. And it was based on the St. Francis prayer. I mean, that was a suggestion for the first passage, and I already knew that. My baptism name is Francis, so St. Francis has always been important to me. So I started the next morning, and I have never looked back. Now, here's something really funny, because I had been looking for a spiritual teacher, and a lot of the people that appealed to me were dead, and I thought, you know, it'd be really nice if I would find a spiritual teacher who was alive that I could talk to when I had a problem. And so when I went on the ishwaran.org website, I saw this picture of Ishwaran. I didn't pay any attention to the fact that underneath him were his dates, and that he had passed away 10 years before that. And I thought, oh, this is great. I've got a live guru. And about a month later, when I realized he was dead, it was already too late. And I was hooked on the practice. I was hooked on his teachings. And my life had changed dramatically for the better. And I have to say, I just haven't been tempted to stop. I'll tell you a couple of things that happened that were sort of weird to me. I had gotten into this habit while I was depressed of drinking a couple of big glasses of wine every night, more like a half a bottle, and of red wine, pretty potent, and that was to help me sleep. Well, after about a week of meditating, I would get up in the morning, and you know, I'd have that little bit of grogginess, that little bit of, I don't know, you wouldn't exactly call it hungover, but I didn't feel all chipper in the morning, and I thought, I don't like this, and I just stopped drinking. I tried several times, and I couldn't really think of a good reason to stop. Well, there was my reason. So I noticed little things in my life began to change, and I began to want to be the things that were in the passages that I was meditating on. I wanted to be an instrument of peace. And I remember by that summer, I was learning new passages, and I learned this passage by the Buddha that's called "Give up anger, give up pride." And that's the way it starts. It says, give up anger, give up pride, and free yourself from worldly bondage. Well, a little later, the first morning after I used it in meditation, I was driving, and I got my first traffic ticket in over 30 years, something I had been extremely proud of. And I mean, it was transparently clear to me as the officer was pulling me over what was going on. And I wasn't even sure that I had done what he was saying. I just let it go, and I thought, okay, there's going to be a lot of giving up in this practice. And there has been. There's been a lot of giving up of selfishness mostly. That's the thing that I noticed the most. So anyway, I'm in a celebratory mood, and I'm actually shooting this video on Sunday, March the 1st, but it will go online on March the 3rd. I have a friend coming in from Atlanta to visit, and so I wanted to get the video made. So that's all I've got for you today, and I appreciate so much that you've spent this time with me. And if you like it, thumbs up. If you want to, subscribe, button below. Until we talk again next week, I'd like to wish you peace and joy.